One thing I've noticed over a period of time and having a Discord channel and kind of watching how other traders are going about tackling and trying to make money in this business of trading is the fact is they struggle. Time and time again, I see them fail at trying to pass evaluations or blow their own personal brokerage account. Okay, it's a vicious cycle to where we put money into an account and then, with hopes of profiting and turning to be able to make money week to week, month to month. All right. A lot of people are trying to master this concept of trading futures simply so that they can, escape the rat race of everyday 9 to 5 or working a shift level job, whether you do it part-time or full-time. All right. This is a great way to actually become your own employer, your own boss. Set the schedule to however you want to set it, because typically speaking, you only have to work an hour to maybe 2 hours max a day as a day trader. Okay, it doesn't matter if you trade futures, forex, options, whatever it is, your poison of choice. My goal is to basically want to see people try to make a minimum of at least $500 a day once you become more experienced in understanding structure of the market. And that's what I want to my approach today is to kind of show you, when we look at the market, what are we what are we looking at? Okay, you have to understand which way the market is moving in order for you to be able to trade, correct? Should you be taking shorts? Should you be taking longs? You got to master that whole concept. And before we actually get started, if you don't mind doing me one big favor right now, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Or maybe this is your first time watching one of the videos. Sit back and watch it, but make sure to subscribe and click that like button before you, exit off or watch the video in its entirety. Now, again, the goal of making $500 a day is very reasonable, and it can be done, but you've got to understand the flow of the market, which way to be trading, because most people, and I'm going to say 99% of them are trading counter trend or trading against the overall market direction. All right. Because they're using lower time frame or lower base charts to trade directly from without having a bias by looking at the higher base charts. Okay. For me, I'm using range charts. So my higher range chart is my 120. My lower range chart for my entries is a 24 range. And to all those out there that are part of the Discord that, are using range charts, you guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of you have converted over from using time-based or time charts. I'm not here to kind of push or force anyone's hands and tell them take a look at range charts. I'm just telling you this is the way I trade. I don't trade time-based charts, and I will say right now, time-based and range charts are not comparable. So you have to find your own sweet spot as far as the charts you want to trade. Now, if I look here, we're going to go ahead and get started. The market over the last few days, we can see where we're just constantly making these highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, and higher. This right here is actually a nice pullback to where we actually broke structure below here, but still ultimately in the end, it broke structure above these highs. So as long as the market is making moves where it's constantly breaking structure to the upside, only look for long or interest on pullbacks to go long at key areas of demand. Okay, so just think about it and equate it in your mind. Prices are making higher highs, pulling back. I'm looking for demand to go long. Those two go together. Or prices making lower lows and breaking structure to the downside, then you should be looking for short opportunities to go short from a key area of supply. Now, as long as we're moving to the upside, then again, like I said, I'm bullish. All right. If we have momentum, the market is constantly pushing to the upside, like it did right here, high, higher, low, broke more structure, I'm bullish. Okay. These rectangle areas right here are all demand zones that I have marked up on my chart from my higher base chart. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the strategy, but scalping is a great opportunity to be able to pick up many points on the day. Okay. I try to pick up a minimum of 20 plus points a day. That's really all you need trading the NASDAQ, especially the Emini futures, to make a comfortable living within this business or industry of trading futures for a living. Now, when I see things like this where the market is constantly making these higher highs and higher lows, again, I'm just in bullish mode. I'm only looking for key pullbacks to areas of demand. And you may be asking me, what are demand areas? Well, all they simply are, like right here, you see the market, I'll move this away. See where the market broke above these highs right here? And these highs are from like July the 3rd or July the 4th. It made a nice pullback. And then it broke to the upside. It took out this area of structure with this aggressive push to the upside. That's a lot of buying momentum. And it pulled back to this key area of demand. So bullish momentum where the market is pushing hard to the upside and breaking above or taking out a prior high. In this case here, that's an area of demand. And we look for the market to come back to those areas to be able to trade them to go back to the upside. As you can see here, the market came back to it on the higher base chart and it reacted and pushed back to the upside. Now, I'm not taking my trades off the higher base chart, but you want to start from a higher base range chart or time chart or whatever it is that you may be using to mark up your higher base zones first and foremost. That's when, after I do that, I move down and to a lower base chart to find a more precise entry point to get into. I don't want to be trading because right here, even on a 120 range chart, by the time the market taps into the zone, there could be 30 points that the market or more could play within, and I don't want to be stuck into a trade where the market starts to pull back and then I'm like in 10, 20, 30 point drawdown. I don't want to experience those that much drawdown. I want to see the market move with momentum quick enough on a lower base chart to get into a trade. So I always start by looking at my higher time frame chart to determine the overall direction of the market. Mark up my zones that way, because I'm gonna tell you this: higher base charts trump all when it comes to weight factors in regards to which charts hold the most weight. Okay, and when it comes to the zones you mark up, it's going to be the higher base charts, okay? Because there are bigger moves, okay, and you'll see a whole lot more price action that takes place within an area of structure on the higher time frame chart or a higher range chart like this right here. So as you can see, the market broke structure above this area. It came back, it tapped into this demand zone right here, okay, and then it moved to the upside right here, all right? And before it started doing what? Making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So the market struggled to break above this high right here when it pushed back up after it rejected off of this this area of demand right here. Once you see where the market is making lower lows and lower highs and cannot or struggles to break above a previous high, then that's a telltale sign they're probably going to want to do what? Push to the downside. Now you have to understand this just as well. You have to understand that and looking at the full scope of the market as a whole, this is where it made a high. This is your low right here. If the market does not break below this low, then we don't have a shift or a change in the dynamic of the actual structure of the market. Okay, so basically when the market made this high here and it pulled back and it started making these lower lows and lower highs to the downside, if it has not taken out this low, we could still be possibly at some point pushed to the upside. Okay, so within a leg on a pullback right here, where you may have the market breaking structure lower, making lower lows and lower highs, the market can still be overall bullish. All right, because we haven't reversed, we haven't shifted, we haven't shown a transition from bullish to where it's come down and broke, say, this area of structure right here, which a lot of traders like to classify as a chalk or change of character, where the market may, start reversing to the downside. So like today, for example, I was looking for opportunities only to go long because we hadn't shifted to the downside. Even though I see this bearish momentum where we're making this channel to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs, still to me, I'm still going to look for an opportunity to go long because overall the market is, it's in bullish mode. We are still not have fully on reverse on the higher base charts. So I'm looking for opportunity to go to the upside to go long. All right. Just like right here, this was a beautiful pullback to a key area of, say, for example, demand. Another here, but both of these were off the higher base charts. Now, you can find plenty of opportunity to actually scalp directly off the lower time frame chart, either by marking up a higher base zones on your higher base chart, waiting for the market to pull back, and then look for an opportunity to go long once it taps into the higher base zones. I talk about that here on the channel in many videos about scalping and using what I like to classify as multi-chart confluence, using a strategy where you mark up a higher base chart and then a higher base zone first on your higher base chart. Fall in the direction of the market. We're bullish, so look for key zones where there's aggressive buying, pullbacks to areas of demand on your higher base chart, and then move down to your lower base chart or scale down to look for an opportunity on the lower base chart to actually go long and just as well. you want to follow that direction of the higher base charts. Okay. Now I'm going to show you as I scale down or move down to my 24 range chart, which is my entry chart, where you can take trades directly from the 24 range, just scalping. Okay, so really you could do this without basically even marking up or taking a trade where you have a zone within a zone approach. You can actually just look for opportunities to scalp very quick off the 24 range chart, your lower base chart. But again, we want to be doing it in the direction, trading in the direction of the overall movement with the higher base chart, not against the grain. Okay. Now, if you want more information about the trades that I actually take, if you join the Discord community, the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's free of charge. You'll see where I'll post trades that I take, right? But then I'll go back and I'll break them down. Breaking trades down, discussing things more in detail, it helps people out. It helps traders out. I found that to be so truthful because people want to know, where do I place my stop loss? Where am I taking profit at? They want to understand your mindset is the reason why you took that trade. So that's why I created a community. It's a private community for anyone that's interested in joining, where you can become an elite or an ultra elite member. The link to do so is down in the description portion of the video, right below the Discord link. You click on the link. It's titled Ultra Elite Supporter, and you'll see a couple tiers pop up. Choose either the elite or the ultra elite tiers to gain access to quality information, video content that is not made public here on, to the channel here. Lots of private community content, backdoor information that has helped so many traders out. Lots of traders trade similar to the way I trade over on our Discord community and have found success in doing so by simply watching the content. It's like instructional information, but I don't classify it. I don't like to call myself a teacher by means of any kind of way. I just like to provide information because I believe that providing knowledge or information that you may know and passing it on helps other individuals. And I think that's what it's really all about when it comes to life. I can't take this with me, so why not share it so other people can become successful just as well. So if you're interested in becoming an elite member, you receive the trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, and my market structure videos. Okay. Now the trade breakdown videos, there are tons of those videos where I break down trade after trade after trade. Setups that I've taken and posted over on Discord so that you can grasp an understanding how to trade the strategy and what you're actually looking for. Okay. Again, you can join and become either an elite supporter to the channel, or you can take it one tier up, one step up, and become an ultra elite to where you receive everything I just described. The breakdowns, trade breakdowns, the video playlist as well. And the video playlist is a list of series by series or video of content that I believe from the channel is the most important content that you should be watching, and covering the strategy and how I actually trade. But you also receive that market structure video plus my live recorded trading sessions. Yes, I just did one today. You receive that video content just as well, and market recap videos for anyone that's interested in becoming an ultra elite supporter. All right. Now, again, the link is down in the description portion of the video. Now, when we scale down to, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here to the 24 range chart, the entry chart, and you can take trades directly from, again, like I said, your lower base or lower time frame charts, if you are trading in the direction of the higher time frame or higher base charts. Now, if you notice here, let me go over here because I'm going to show you two setups today that actually took place. You could have traded from. All right. One just recently took place here around about 345, 340, somewhere right here. This is a long opportunity off of a demand area. But what I want you to look at first is right here. You see where we're still bullish to the upside. The market goes up, pulls back to an area of demand. Okay. Then we break structure again to the upside and pull back to this key area of demand right here. Now at this point, the strategy and how I trade, I'm looking for a lower range chart, okay, or lower base chart opportunity or zone that's on the inside of these zones here. Okay, if I don't have one, then I'll look for the market once it taps the higher base zones. Look for it to start to show me some bullish momentum where it's breaking structure higher on the lower time frames to look for a pullback to go long. That's simply the strategy. Okay, two approaches. I'm looking for a zone within a zone approach, or when the market either taps into a supply or demand zone, and then I'm looking for the rejection or reaction at that zone to where it's either breaking and making bullish momentum to the upside where it's breaking structure, or if it's moving away from a supply zone where it's coming to the downside and taps into a supply zone where it's making a bearish momentum direction where it's breaking structure lower and then a pullback to go long. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is here, you can use your lower time frame to look for opportunities too. Like right here, this was another trade opportunity about 12:30 today. This was straight from the 24 range chart. It made a high, higher low, broke structure here. It came back, an area of demand to go long off of. Okay, and we're looking for the market to what? To run the most recent high right here, right here. So you see what broke structure, came back, made a higher low, broke structure, took out this high right here, tapped into this area of demand, aggressive buying. Go long when you get the rejection, and look for it to aim and take out either highs or look for it to. You can look to your left-hand side to see if there are any gaps or anything that need to be filled, or imbalances that need to be filled to the left-hand side of the chart as well. All right, so that was a beautiful trade right there off of that area of demand there at 12. Now here where the market made this final high right here, okay, and then it started to come back to the downside. It made a low, lower high. It broke structure here to the downside, as you can see right here, tapped into this demand zone. And you can go long from this area, but you have to be mindful when you're trading in relation to price action. What does the market look like above you? This is an area of support right above us here, but it's also an area of supply as well, because we have aggressive selling to the downside where the market broke up, made a low, lower high, didn't take this high out here. So the market struggled to push up and take out this high here. After pulling back right here, it didn't come back up and make a higher high right there. So now what it's doing is making lower lows and lower highs. This is an area of resistance, but it's also a supply area right here. The market reacted off that area and pushed back up, and it started to feel imbalances back to the upside. It tapped into this, see right here, this 40 area. 40 and 70 are pivot levels, or hidden pivot levels that a lot of traders don't know about, and it rejected off of that. But still, had you gone to this trade here, right here at around about 3:45 today. Now be careful because you're getting close to the close of the market. But let's take the time away. This is still a beautiful setup, and one that follows the rules that I would actually take. I will either go aggressive here at 23,021 or 22, or more so conservative, maybe around about 28, and then the market goes up and starts basically filling in imbalances or gaps back to the upside, and it hits that 40 pivot area, and then it rejects from it. All right, so even getting in here around about, where did I say here? 28, I believe it was, or maybe even 26 or 28 right here. You still picked up at least a 10-point move there, just scalping directly off the higher time frame. The lower time frame chart, or lower base chart, not time frame. But this is a beautiful demand zone right here, as you can see here. Take the trade here, and you're aiming for the market to take out the highs. Now, here, I would be more so looking for the market to take out the highs right here, because there's really no break where the market started breaking structure coming lower, and no area of supply that can be, with imbalances or resting right below that area of supply that need to be filled back into. The market filled in everything before coming back and touching this demand zone right here, and that's why it broke structure to the upside and took out this high. So this was a beautiful setup right here at around about 12:30 or 12:35 this afternoon. So what I'm just trying to overall tell you is that scalping directly from a lower time frame or lower base chart, whatever it may be that you're using, it can definitely, it's doable, and you can do this and make money to where you don't have to full on wait for a pullback to a key area from a higher base chart, like a higher time frame or a higher base chart demand zone or supply zone. You can still look for opportunities scalping directly off of your lower time frame, but you're going to really want to follow the flow and the direction. Got to get that right in regards to structure of the higher time frame. Stay in the movement and the direction of the higher time frame, and you should be okay when you're looking for pullbacks or quick scalps off your lower time frame. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I want to show you that today, show you a couple opportunities that took place today to where you could scalp, and I picked up, just imagine picking up this trade here, right here, and roughly getting in maybe around, I would get in aggressive here at 23,010, more conservative 23,012 or 13, and look to aim for the high right here at least 23,028. All right, pick yourself up, I don't know, 12, 13 points right there, and maybe these 10 points right here. You got yourself 23, 24 points right there. Okay, an easy 20 points on the day trading the NASDAQ, and that's a fairly good way to make an income, especially if you're trading the Emini futures. That's over $500 a day. Or seriously, 20 points on trading, depending on how many contracts you're trading. One contract at 20 points is $400. Two contracts on 20 points would be $800. So that puts you over that $500 mark a day trading the Emini futures. Okay, This is the reason why 99% of people end up failing and struggling as day traders when it comes to trading the future markets. Why? Because they have a hard time being able to read the overall picture, and the biggest part is understanding structure. All right, but that's all I have to share with you guys today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Anyone that did watch the video today, again, if you do not mind, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of content here that can help you out if you really spend time watching the video content, and if you really want to dig deep, again, to find more insightful information, not find, but to receive more insightful information that can really help you in your own personal trading, you may want to think about becoming either an elite or an ultra elite member to really go into detail about these trade setups, because that's the cornerstone. That's the bread and butter to really how I trade and walking you through these setups, so you can look for, again, when you're trading, when you're back testing and forward testing, you can look for the same similar type setups and understand them. When you look for them, you know what you're looking at, okay? The link is down in the description portion of the video to become an ultra elite or an elite supporter to the channel, okay? Take care, everyone. Again, if you haven't subscribed, click that button down below. Make sure to turn your post notifications on. And last but not least, click that like button for me. I appreciate it. Take care.